paint a picture of us being whatever you imagine.
You think I'm a Picasso.
Come get to know us if you really,
And the people that do know us, they understand. But the ones that should know us and the ones that are like, I don't know.
Yeah, just a lot of gossip and BS and, just...
Them haters going to be hating.
Haters going to hate.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. Movie line, sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Interview. I'm getting really good at this guessing.
I'm
movies.
so proud of you. You're finally learning.
But you said something else too, Ryan, that I can kind of relate to. It's the never been married thing. Mm-hmm. And the fear.
Second that.
Whoa. You've been married, Chris?
Never been married.
You got kids.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I ever got married. Never made that jump off a cliff.
Yeah, I started out thinking it was like a fear of commitment, but it was not the commitment. It's the fear that it's going to fail. That
I used to think it was that, and then I thought, well, maybe it's because my parents got divorced when I was young, and it's probably more that I was just drunk, and I drank way too much, and I think that the women were just like, no.
Yeah, I'm going to try and walk him down the aisle.
No. No, I want a man that's going to be around, that's going to be there for the kids, not going to die, not going to embarrass me, make an ass out, I just can't do it. And it was funny because they would come into the picture, and I could just see it looking back now. I'm going to change him. I'm going to change him. And bless their hearts, they tried.
Bless their hearts.
And I chose the alcohol every single time. And it feels good to actually be in a relationship now that alcohol doesn't play a factor. The fact that I don't have to worry about, I can't do this, I can't do that, or
what you did last night.
Yes, or what I said, and what I said I meant, or, at least thought about before I said it. Doesn't always come out right. I still broke up with a chick through a text message, which it was Facebook Messenger. I didn't realize it was the same. Or maybe I did and just, I don't know. But anyway, it might not always come out right, but at least it's sober. At least it's the real me, I guess. But yeah,
the real deal.
Yeah, maybe it was all those things, and I don't know if that happened to you or worked that way with you, but I know the divorce thing is something that I'm just like, man, I don't want to fail like they did. I saw how miserable it was, and
my mom divorced my father and remarried and divorced my 2 younger sisters, dad, and so I seen a couple of marriages broken up. I was just like, why would I want to go through this?
A lot of bitterness, a lot of hate, a lot of anger, and
maybe abandonment.
You're just stuck in the middle.
Yeah, there's not much you can do when you're just a wee lad.
You can't stop. You can't stop a train.
Yeah.
And once you've seen that train wreck, you don't. My parents were still together. My parents, nothing. No divorces, no beatings, no. Like I've said many times, played sports throughout my childhood. Never sat back and watched anybody use or, get rocked. I mean, I went to family events where, drinking was, the part of it, but this was, a couple times a year. So, I mean, what I learned to do and how I learned to do it
so
with the people I hung out with.
You learned failure on your own, huh?
Genetics had nothing to do with it. Genetics played. We talked about this in our meeting. Mm-hmm. In our meeting, genetics play no part in it. No. My genetics were, whatever it is. It's not genetics. Like I said, I was over to high school with a kid whose mom was a teacher, and he had a garage. In the back of that garage was a pool table, golden tee, a couple arcade games, a heater that was an air conditioner. So in the winter it was hot, in summer it was cold. We went to we partied there, or the party ended there, and I remember waking up on the bathroom floor with being covered in a towel because she'd come in, Mrs. McCarthy would come in and cover us up or feed us and make sure we were okay, make sure we weren't dead. Sexual relationship. Oh, for shit, crap! Really?
No, Mrs. McCarthy.
Tell us more about that mom.
She made us French toast in the morning. She covered me up when I was asleep on the bathroom floor, passed out on the bathroom floor. Just a real nice person, but enabled her son, enabled her son's friends, and I will never say that she made me what I am today, because she certainly didn't, dump it down my throat, and she certainly didn't put a stinking needle in my arm.
Right.
That was my decision. That's what I did.
But I think that, maybe just because I was young, I don't know. But it seems like times really were different back then. And that was the thinking of many parents. I know my parents kind of thought the same thing too. Like, hey, let's just keep it here in-house where we know what's going on. Mm-hmm. And let's not let them just run around the neighborhood like we used to. And maybe that
around.
Yeah, maybe that kind of thinking, like, because I won't raise my kids that way.
Never.
And they're gonna know, like, hey, this is what's gonna happen if you do this, and I don't know what problems they're gonna have. I'm sure they'll find something to get into, but and people might be laughing at me right now, thinking, yeah, Corey, it sounds good, but yeah, good luck with that.
You can try and protect them. I worked with a guy. His daughters were very sheltered out in the country, and they eventually drank a little bit before they were 21, and I was like, man, you need to cut the umbilical cord, let them have a little bit of freedom so that they don't rebel. And the oldest daughter rebelled, and in a completely different way, no drugs and Jesus Christ. Nothing bad, but then the youngest daughter's 20-something years old and has a $10,000 bank account because mom and dad don't say, okay, it's time for you to move on now. But I guess it's the best way they can try and save them. I do have a little quote here that I want to read at the end of the show. It was something that I see, because I want to save it for the end of the show. So I just have to let my phone just sit there for a while, but it's not what I normally say. I'm going to say that too, but then I'm going to say this. So I'm going to end the show on that note, if I may.
Sexual relationship.
No!
Why are you keep talking
It's
about
not me. Press the button again while I'm still talking.
I don't know what you're
Press the button again while I'm still talking. Press the button again while I'm still
sex
talking.
relationships, that's fine. So
Everything with him.
yeah.
Jeez.
Don't stare at me like that. Don't get me gossed out, bro.
Good times.
But no, yeah, so
Brain fart?
no, it's just I'm taking it in, man.
I bet you are. You've been gossed.
Oh, got the gossed out look. No, just taking it all in, and sometimes it's good to do that. You don't always have to react to somebody. No, it's good stuff that we just talked about there, and I feel better that my day was kind of starting off as kind of real bad. Made some shirt, and you know what? Like making shirts and stuff like that, designing stuff. That's a hobby.
Having a couple little talks.
Yeah,
that was a good part of my recovery in my day.
And going to the nooner where other people were talking about fear, I was talking about the chocolates. I only got past halfway around the table.
It didn't get back to me. He says,
I can't remember what I said, but I was.
I don't know how they got stalled out over there.
That's what it was about.
The lady's looking like, oh, sorry.
Like, you keep them chocolates going till they get back to me.
In the meeting last night, 2 plates of chocolate ended up in front of the diabetic, which I just thought was hysterical.
So I just helped Corey out and dumped it on my plate and shoved the ball
right
over
back
to him.
to him. And I get yelled at for buying him a candy bar. I'm not going to drop a name on the floor. We know that. But I will say hi to Samantha. Oh.
Who?
Never mind.
Oh, that one girl who.
Oh.
Man.
Yeah. All right, yeah. Next.
I don't talk to her anymore. So so the meeting was good, and I was getting kind of drawn in, and sometimes it happens, and sometimes I'm the one that draws other people in too, where that you get that you're in a bad mood, And it's just blah, and you just want to blah. And the way it was kind of going around the table, people were just blah, and then it hit Rick. And I don't know, Rick, the minute he started talking, I was just like, you know what? I'm glad I'm here. You know, like, that dude just cheered me up, and I'm not going to be negative. I'm not going to say negative things because I don't want to feel like that anymore. And I just kind of changed it and moved forward. And it was a eye-opening experience to go from one feeling to another. And I know I talked about that the other day in the podcast where it was like I was feeling great and then it was instant bad. Like it was so bittersweet, you know. And those emotions will get you for sure. But since it is Thursday, Chris, and you went through the first round of yours to Sam.
Yeah. Just
Dustin.
What?
You got a shout out?
Yeah, shout out to all you guys. Corey, Chris, and Ryan. Yeah.
Thank you.
And
I think that's not how that works.
I like that.
I like it.
Yeah, I did.
It sounds special.
Shout
It's
out to
special.
one fresh out.
Fresh out what?
To Clink.
Clink. Who's Clink?
Oh, for heaven's sakes. You know what
my
he's talking
God.
about.
One fresh out of the Clink.
I got it. I hope the best for him. I guess that's what we're talking about. See, I don't get it.
What do you mean you don't get it?
So I just figured Captain would throw a shout out to one of his fresh outs.
Man. Get it?
Throw a shout out to Sierra. Checking into rehab. I think she'll do good this time. Wow. Best wishes for her.
Best of luck, truly.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm the dirty man tonight.
Yeah, you are.
All right.
I do have one thing to say.
You do?
Yeah. The highlight of my day today was our last meeting of the night. When I got to talk to somebody about his kid and how I almost lost mine, not to CPS, by her telling me she didn't want to see me anymore and explaining how I got that far into that to where my daughter got that in her head. He has a newborn. And maybe what I said to him sunk in to where it isn't gonna happen to him. Made me feel good.
It's good.
It's good.
I'm glad you could help somebody out.
Made me feel good.
It was a very touching moment. He was talking about when she was fresh born, him looking at her, I'll never hurt you or let anybody hurt you. And I think he had the other guy tearing up, and he's like, no, I didn't know addiction was going to make me do these things, and how he failed her and how she was, letting him go. It was very good.
We've all
Very
had
touching.
that moment.
I don't have kids.
Somebody's gonna see him.
Just you, son.
Oh, well, you don't have one to say that
Yeah,
to
you do. It's the
yet.
size of a blueberry.
It's blueberry baby.
Done.
Congrats on that.
Let me tell you how it happened, guys.
No, we don't have time for that.
All right. My shout out will go to
Hey.
Sure. Yes.
Ooh.
Kate, thanks for listening and the support. Corey, who do you have?
I've been thinking about this long and hard.
Really?
No. I think about it all the time. I'm like, I got to give them a shout out, and then I completely blank.
Blank out?
This is killing me.
The anticipation.
Baby Blueberry.
Oh, Allison.
Allison.
Yep. Allison and her husband,
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Chris.
Yes.
That's her husband's name. Or did I give her a shout out last week?
I remember talking about him.
Zach?
No, heavens.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, Zach.
Just took mine. I mean, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.